Hello students, last class we have discussed how to find the equation of circle whose extremities are given to you. Suppose your extremities are x1 comma y1, x2 comma y2. What is the equation of circle? X minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equals to 0. What are x1, y1, x2, y2's? Extremities of diameter of circle. Now, if you know x1, y1, x2, y2, you can easily write the equation of the circle. At the same time, by looking the ends of the diameter, we can write the equation of circle by x square plus y square minus of x1 plus x2 into x minus of y1 plus y2 into y plus x1, x2 plus y1, y2 is equals to 0. This is also another form of the equation of circle whose extremities are given to you. From that, how to obtain angle in semicircle is 90 degrees. Also, we have discussed how to find the equation of circle passing through origin and makes intercepts a comma b with the coordinate axis. This is obtained from angle in semicircle is 90 degrees. Today, let us see some of the problems related to these concepts and also let us see some geometrical properties of circle. Let us see. This is the problem. Find the equation of circle passing through the points 2 comma minus 3 and minus 4 comma 5 and having center on 4x plus 3y plus 1 equal to 0. What is here? You are going to find out the equation of circle satisfying these conditions. What are the conditions? Your circle passing through two of the points, its center lies on some line. So these are three conditions. You are going to find out the equation of circle. You have so many methods to do this type of problems, but the best method is you have to choose the equation of required circle as s is equals to 0, apply the conditions for that equation and obtain FGC values, substitute FGC values in the above equation, we obtain the required equation of the circle. That is the idea. You can do so many methods. The best method is you have to choose s equal to 0 is the required equation of the circle. Now, how to proceed this one? Let us see. Suppose this is your required circle. This is your required circle. Now, it is center is C. Its center lies on what? 4x plus 3y plus 1 equal to 0. This is equation number 1. And the circle passing through these 2 points as shown in this figure. Like that. So, first A and second point is say B. Your circle passing through A and B and its center lies on some line. This is the diagram related to your problem. How to start this one? Let s equal to 0 be the required equation of circle. What do you mean? Your s is nothing but s is equals to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Suppose this is your required equation of circle. What is the role of the circle now? Its center lies on this line. At the same time that is passing through these 2 points. So, your 2 points lies on the circle, they satisfies this equation, implies substitute the first point, what happened? 4 plus 9, 2 2s are 4g, next minus 3 into 2, minus 6f, plus c is equals to 0, implies what happened? 4g minus 6f, plus c is equals to minus 13. This is equation number 2 say. 4g minus 6f plus c is equals to 0. Similarly, if you substitute this point, we obtain minus 8g. Next plus 10f plus c is equals to 16 plus 25. That is 41. If it is coming to the right side, that is minus 41. This is equation number 3. 16 plus 25, 40 plus 1, 41. If it is coming to the right side, you get minus 41. These are two equations obtained by substitute these 2 points in your equation of the circle. Now, minus g comma minus f is your center. Am I correct or not? Minus g comma minus f. Substitute minus g comma minus f in this equation. We obtain the another condition. What do you say? 4 into minus g, minus 4g. 3 into minus f, minus 3f is equals to 1 is coming to the right side, minus 1. So, multiplying on both sides by minus, you get 4g plus 3f is equals to 1. This is the equation number 4. So, you have 3 conditions, 3 unknowns, and you can make up 3 equations. You can form the 3 equations as shown in this figure. By solving these 3 equations, we get f, g, c values. After getting the values of f, g, c, substitute in your s is equals to 0, we obtain the required equation of the circle. That is the idea of the problem. So, next question is how to solve these equations. That is very, very important to you. So, the calculation part is very, very important in this type of questions. So, you have c in these 2 equations. By subtracting itself, you can eliminate the value of c. We get some condition in f comma g. Also, we have some equation in f and g. Now, by solving again the equations having purely in f and g, we get f comma g values. Again, substitute the f comma g values in any equation having c, we get c value also. Keep f, g, c values in the above equation, that is s is equals to 0, then your job is over. That is why we are going to solve these 2 equations 2 and 3. For that, I am 2 minus 3, I am going to do 2 minus 3. What happened? 2 minus 3, 4 minus of minus 8, that is 12g, minus 16f is equal to cc gets cancelled, is equals to plus 28. Am I correct or not? You can cancel out by 4. 4 3s are 3g minus 4f is equals to 7. This is equation number 5. Now, this is the another equation in f comma g. Already we have some equation in f and g. This is 4. Once if you solve these 2 equations 4 and 5, we obtain the g comma f. Substitute g comma f in this any 2 of 3. We get c value also. Substitute f, g, c in the s is equal to 0. That is your target. So, multiply the equation 4 by 3 and 5 by 4 to get 12g. Here also you get 12g. When you subtract from one from other, you eliminate g value. From that you can calculate the value of f. That is why I am multiplying with 3. What happened? 3 4s are 12g. Next 3 3s are 9f is equals to 3 1s are 3. We have multiplied by 3 with this equation. At the same time, we are multiplying the fifth equation with 4. 4 3s are 12. That is 12g. 4 4s are 16. Minus 16f is equals to 4 7s are 28. These are the 2 equations. Now, by subtracting one from other, 12g gets cancelled. This is 25f. This is equals to minus 25. Implies 25 gets cancelled. F is equals to minus 1. The value of f is equals to minus 1. You just substitute f is equals to minus 1. Here itself we get g also. 4g plus 3f. 3 into f. F is minus 1. Minus 3 is equals to 1. Implies is equals to 1. Am I correct or not? 4g is equals to 4. Implies you get g is equals to 1. So we have f is equals to minus 1 and g is equals to 1. Substitute in 2. Substitute f comma g in 2. Implies what? 4 times of g, 4 into 1, 4. Plus minus 6 into minus 1, plus 6. That is 4 plus 6 plus c is equals to minus 13. Implies c is equals to minus 23. Listen students, we obtain a value for c, that is minus 23, g is equals to 1 and f is equals to minus 1. This is f value. This is G value, already we obtained C is equals to minus 23. Keep these three values in your standard equation, S is equals to 0, we obtain the required equation. What is S now? X square, Y square. What is our G value? 1. 2 into 1 into X, 2X plus 2X minus 2Y, because your F is minus 1, and C is equals to minus 23. Keep minus 23 here, that is equals to 0. In this manner, we can do this problem. Or you can use the condition that is say x1 comma y1 be the center of circle, CP is equals to, CA is equals to CB, you get one condition. Substitute x1 comma y1 in the equation of diameter, you get another condition. Solve with both equations, you get center. From that center, you can find the radius by finding the distance from here to here. Once if you know the center and radius, you can write the equation of circle. That is another method. You can do that method also. But in this method, we need not to go for radius, center, like that. Once if you get a FGC values, keep the values in the equation S is equal to 0 itself, we obtain the required equation. Like that, you can choose this method to solve this type of problems, or you may choose let x1 comma y1 be the required center, and you can proceed in this manner also. In this manner you can solve this problem. But when you are solving these type of problems, the calculation part play very important role. If you substitute these points in your circle equation, if you just do some mistake, the entire problem will be wrong. Understand? So when you are substituting the points, or when you are substituting the center of circle in this line equation, you have to maintain the more concentration on your problem, on your simplifications. So when you are substituting the center, what is your center of S equal to 0? Minus G minus F. Instead of minus G minus F, if you substitute G comma F in your equation of line, we obtain the wrong information. So at any time, you have to maintain very careful concentration. Understand? This is the way to solve this problem. Okay? Let us do one more problem. Very interesting problem. Read yourself first of all. A variable circle touches x-axis. Variable circle, I mean, the circle is varying from one place to another place, even though that maintains some condition. What is the condition? Touches x-axis and passing through the point A comma B. So your circle is varying. That means it is changes from point to point, even though that satisfies two conditions. What are the conditions? That always touches x-axis. That circle always passing through the point A comma B. So for different positions of your circle, you have different centers to the same circle. Because if the equation of circle is changed, its automatically center will be changed. If the position of circle is changed, automatically its center is changed. So you have to collect all such type of centers. That is, you are going to find the locus of the other end of the diameter. If the center is changed, automatically its other end will be changed. That is why you have to find out the locus of other end of the diameter. I will explain the question once again to you. Your variable circle is there. That circle touches always x-axis and always passing through the point A comma B. A comma B is any point. Then we have to find out the locus of other end of the diameter of the circle through the point A comma B. Your diameter through which point? A comma B. Is there exists another diameter, end of the other diameter or not? Yes. You have to find out the locus of that point. Your circle is varying, your other end of the diameter is varying. You collect all such type of points, you get some locus, that is you are going to find out here. Let us try to draw the figure here. This is one of the position of your variable circle. So many circles you can draw. One of the circle, this is the one of the circle, satisfies my conditions. See here, it touches my x-axis. This is your x-axis. And this is passing through your fixed point A comma B. This is your A comma B. Can you draw another circle or not? You can draw another circle passing through A comma B touches x-axis. Just this is one of your example. You can build up so many circles satisfies the condition such a way that the circle passing through touches x-axis. You can build up so many circles. What is your aim? You have to find out the locus of other end of the diameter of the circle through this point A comma B. That is, see here, this is the center of the circle. This is the diameter. This is the diameter. What is the speciality of this diameter? The diameter passing through point A comma B. What is your aim? You have to find out the locus of other extremity of the diameter through A comma B. This is the point on your locus. You have to find out the locus point. If you, in the same manner, if you, this is your center, if you join like this, this is the other end of the diameter. Am I correct or not? In this manner, you collect all such type of other ends of diameters through the point A comma B, we get some locus. That is, you have to find out here. That is the question. Am I correct or not? So this is the rough diagram for you. How to crack this one? That is my question. Now, you are going to find out the locus of this point. That is why I am taking this point as x1 comma y1. x1 comma y1 is one of the point of my locus. Now, all of you know that this is A comma B, this is x1 comma y1, these are ends of diameter of circle. Immediately can you write the equation of circle or not? Yes, immediately you can write the equation of circle by x square plus y square minus of sum of x coordinates, x1 plus A into x minus of sum of y coordinates, that is y1 plus b into y plus their dot product. I mean ax1 plus by1. ax1 plus by1 is equal to 0. Already we proved this one. This is the last but one step of your theorem. X square y square minus of sum of x coordinates into x minus of sum of y coordinates into y plus ax1 plus by1 equal to 0. After that we get x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 equal to 0. This is your circle whose extremities are a comma b and x1 comma y1. What is the role of the circle now? This touches x-axis. Your circle touches x-axis, we mean g square equal to c. That is your condition. What is g? Half of x quotient. That means minus of x1 plus a by 2 whole square is equals to constant ax1 plus by1. ax1 plus by1. G square is equals to c. Now by simplifying, what happened? x1 plus a whole square is equals to 4ax1 plus 4by1. Your job is, if you take this value 4ax1 to the left side, a plus b whole square minus 4ab, that is nothing but a minus b whole square, or you write x1 minus a whole square is equals to 4by1. x1 minus a whole square is equals to 4by1. This is the condition for all x1 comma y1. These are the extremities of diameter of your circle. Those are passing through your point a comma b. Am I correct or not? So can you write the locus of x1 y1 or not? So required locus is what? X minus a whole square plus is equals to 4by. X minus a whole square is equals to 4by. It represents a parabola. That is out of story. In this manner we can find the locus of the other end of the diameter of the circle. This is the question. I am applying this formula, ends of the diameter formula. This formula, by looking the diagram itself, you can crack this one also. Let us see method. This is your question. You don't know the formula. Now, you take x1 comma y1 is the other end of the diameter of the circle which is passing through a comma b, touches x-axis. These are extremities of diameter. Immediately, what is its midpoint? Center of the circle. So, can you write the center of the circle or not? Yes, you can write the center of the circle. That is x1 plus a by 2, comma y1 plus b by 2. This is the center of the circle. Now, my question is, you know the coordinates of this center. Anybody tell me the distance from here to here or not? Yes, this is nothing but modulus of y coordinate. The distance from point to the x-axis is y coordinate. This is 90 degrees. what is the distance now here? y1 plus b by 2. Is it radius or not? Yes, this is radius. If you multiply it by 2, this one, you get the length of the diameter. Am I correct or not? This is radius. This is also radius. It is also the radius. All the radii are equal to any circle. Now, by multiplying with 2 to this value, y1 plus b by 2 into 2 gives what? y1 plus b. That is the diameter of circle from here itself. So, 2 times of that one is what? y1 plus b. That is equivalent to what? The distance from here to here. Am I correct or not? Length of the diameter. What is the length of diameter now? x1 minus a whole square plus y1 minus b whole square. So, I think your job is over. By squaring on both sides, what happened? y1 plus b whole square is equals to x1 minus a whole square plus y b whole square. Take this value to the left side. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is 4ab. That is 4b y1 is equals to x1 minus a whole square. So can you write the locus or not? The locus of x1 comma y1 is x minus a whole square is equals to 4by. This is the another method. So no need to remember all those formulas. Once if you know the formula, it is better to do the problem in the short time. Even though if you have no formula, by diagram itself, you think once again, you can crack this type of problems also. All the locus problems, you have to imagine how to draw the figure, how to avoid the equations, how to do the conditions, how to obtain the solution. You have to think all these things. Okay, without confusion, you can crack all this type of problems once if you know the concept thoroughly. Okay, this is the another method. Let us see one more problem. This is the question. All the problems related to locus are very important. It is very easy for you when you draw the diagram to the corresponding problem. See this question. Here you have to find out the locus of center of circle, touches x-axis and makes an intercept k units on y-axis. So there exist so many circles, infinite number of circles maintains these conditions. The circle touches x-axis. At the same time, the circle makes an intercept of length k units on y-axis. You have infinite number of such circles. There exists infinite number of centers corresponding to those circles. Collect all those centers, we get some locus, that is you are going to find out. Understand? So what is the role of the circle here? The circle touches your x-axis and also makes some intercept on y-axis, that is k is given to you. Okay. Now let us draw some rough diagram to this one. This is one of my circle, satisfies the given condition. So that means what is doing here? The circle touches x-axis and also what? Makes an intercept of length k units. Already we discussed what is meant by intercept made by the coordinate axis, either x-axis or y-axis. So the distance from here to here is k units. Your circle touches x-axis, at the same time makes an intercept k units with y-axis. The point of intersection of the coordinate axis is what here? Origin. Now this is the center of the circle. You are going to find out its locus by varying the circle. So this is one of my circle, touches x-axis and makes an intercept k units on y-axis. You can draw infinite number of circles, maintains the same condition. You collect all such type of circles, take their centers and join them, you get some locus, that is your required equation. Okay. Now this is the rough diagram for you. With the help of this diagram, how to crack this one, let us see. Suppose this is the center whose coordinates are x1 comma y1. So we are going to write the locus for what? x1 comma y1. x1 comma y1 is the center circle which touches x-axis, at the same time makes an intercept k units on the y-axis. Now tell me, what is the distance from here to here? the distance from point to the x-axis is modulus of y1. This is y1. Is it radius or not? Yes, it is radius. Now, once if it is radius, my question is it y1 or not? This is also y1. Some of the students immediately say this is x1. No, this is not x1. Once if your radius is y1, this is y1. From here to here, if you draw one more perpendicular from point to the y-axis, that is what? X1. This is in your geometry first class, in your first year, your teacher say that these are the coordinate axis, this is your point x1 comma y1, the distance from here to here is mod x1, the distance from here to here is mod y1. This is very, very important for you, even though it is a small concept. So, this is y1. Now my question is it perpendicular bisector to this line or not? Yes, this line is the perpendicular bisector of this line. Why it is perpendicular bisector? If you join in this manner, this triangle is an isosceles triangle because these are the two radii of the circle. Radii are equal, therefore these two sides are equal for this triangle. So this triangle becomes what? An isosceles triangle. For the isosceles triangle, the median through this point or angular bisector or perpendicular bisector are same because of these two triangles are congruent triangles. Why these two are congruent triangles? These two sides are equal, their corresponding angles are also equal. This is 90, this is angle theta say, it is immediately 90 minus theta. Similarly, this is theta, this is 90 minus theta. So, 90, 90 minus theta, theta, 90, theta, 90 minus theta. By AAA property, angle property, these two are congruent triangles. Once if they are congruent triangles, what is the line here? This will be the perpendicular bisector as well as the angular bisector. Both angles are same. That is the angular bisector. That is why I am saying these two lengths are equal. Perpendicular bisector means what? The line passing through midpoint of the line and perpendicular to that one also. That is why these two lengths are equal. So, what is the distance from here to here? Half of the value is what? K by 2. Your half of the value is what? K by 2. Now, I am writing the diagram clearly here itself. This is length K by 2. What is the distance from here to here? X1. Now, what is the radius of the circle? Y1. Once if you identify this figure or diagram, your job is to have the right angle triangle with all sides. This is right angle at this point. Side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. We obtain the condition on x1 comma y1. From that you can write the locus of x1 comma y1 very easily. So, now by squaring and adding this one, what happened? X1 square plus k square by 4 is equals to y1 square. Implies what happened? Y1 square minus x1 square is equals to k square by 4. Can I write the locus of x1 y1 or not? Yes, you can easily write the locus of x1 y1. The locus of x1 y1 is y square minus x square is equals to k square by 4. This is the rectangular hyperbola. We can discuss why it is called rectangular hyperbola, like that, whatever it may be. This is your locus. So, the basic concept behind this problem, only the thing is here, the distance from here to here is y1. The distance from here to here is x1. When you draw the perpendicular bisector, that is always passing through the center of the circle. Okay, we will discuss the same property in the next slide also. So, this is k by 2, this is x1, this is y1. From this right angle triangle, we can crack our locus. Understand? So, side square plus side square is equals to hypotenuse square. Once if you get the thought, immediately you can crack this locus. That is y square minus x square is equals to k square by 4. Okay, next. Now, let us see some basic properties, that is geometrical properties of circle to crack more type of problems. So, these are very interesting. All of you know these properties in your lower class itself, but you don't know how they are getting. Okay, let us try to do all these basic properties, how they are happening, like that. So this is the property. First property, let us see this one. The perpendicular bisector of any chord of circle, the perpendicular bisector of any chord of circle passing through center of the circle. This is the property. Just we have proved this one. The perpendicular bisector of any chord of circle always passing through the center of the circle. Already we proved this one just 2 minutes back. But I am taking this as first property. This is very, very important property. All of you know this property. So many times you can apply the property. So this is circle. What you are going to prove that perpendicular of any chord of the circle always passing through center of circle. What is chord? Line segment joining of any 2 points. Line joining of any 2 points on the circle is called chord. Line segment. Okay. This is the line segment joining of the any 2 points, say A comma B on the circle. Its perpendicular bisector is always going to center of the circle, that is your aim. This is the center of the circle. Okay, as shown in this figure. This is your perpendicular bisector. That is always passing through what? Center of the circle. Okay, you are going to prove that that is always passing through center of the circle. That is your target. Now, my question is, the distance from here to here and here to here are equal or not? Yes. Why? Both are radius. This is the radius. This is also the radius of the same circle. Already I explained this thing. This is the triangle. What is that? CAB. CAB is your triangle. What is your aim? Your perpendicular bisector should passing through center of the circle. So what is the triangle here? This is isosceles triangle, because these two sides are equal, because these two are radii of the circle. Therefore this is isosceles triangle. If you draw the perpendicular from here to here, that means C to the third side, this is 90 degrees. Okay, this is the angle 90 degrees. Am I correct or not? Now I am saying these two are congruent triangles, because these two sides are equal, their corresponding angles are equal. If it is theta, automatically this is also theta by sine rule. A by sine A equal to B by sine B equal to C by sine C equal to 2R. Well known formula in your first year. These two are theta. This is 90, this is theta. This angle 90 minus theta. Similarly, this is also 90 minus theta. Three angles are equal in these two triangles. By AAA property, we can conclude that these two are what? Congruent triangles. When they are congruent triangles, their corresponding lengths are equal. Therefore, so this is the perpendicular bisector always passing through what? C. So this is the perpendicular bisector. Am I correct or not? This is the line perpendicular to this line. At the same time, it bisects the AB. So this is the perpendicular bisector. Is it passing through C or not? Yes, it is passing through C. Why? Because of your triangle itself, isosceles triangle. That is why this is R, this is R. If you draw the perpendicular bisector to this chord, that is always passing through your center of the circle. Am I correct or not? This is the diagram related to this concept. Immediately we can solve by observe that the triangle is your isosceles triangle. Your triangle is your isosceles triangle. From that you conclude that every perpendicular bisector of any chord of the circle always passing through center of the circle. There is a chord, draw the perpendicular bisector, it immediately passing through the center of the circle. So if you take another chord here, you draw the perpendicular bisector to this one, that is also passing through the center of the circle. You take the chord here, draw the perpendicular bisector, that is also passing through the center of the circle. So the point of intersection of any two perpendicular bisectors of any two chords is always center. The point of intersection is always center. Understand? This is the property. We use this property so many times in our so many problems. Okay. See this problem related to the previous property. That one is the locus of center of circle such that point 2, 3 is midpoint of chord 5x plus 2y is equals to 16. This is your question. The locus of center of circle you are going to find out such that the point 2 comma 3 is midpoint of the chord 5x plus 2y is equals to 16. What is 2 comma 3? Midpoint of what? Some chord formed by what? That line equation. 5x plus 2y is equals to 16. Let us try to draw the rough diagram to this one. This is one of the circle, locus of center of circle, such that this point is midpoint of the chord of circle. Okay. This is the chord. Your midpoint is say 2 comma 3. This is your midpoint of the chord 2 comma 3. What you are going to find out? Locus of the center of the circle. Locus of the center of the circle. This is the center of the circle as shown in the figure. Now my question is, if you join from here to here, what is the angle? 90 degrees, because the perpendicular bisector is always passing through your center of the circle. That is the logic just we defined in the previous concept. So if you join here, what is the angle now? 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees. Am I correct or not? This is the rough diagram to your problem. Very simple to this one. Very, very simple. So you are going to find out the locus of the center of the circle. Let us say x1 comma y1. You know this equation. This is equation number 1, say. This is 1. By diagram itself, you can think how to track this one. This is 90 degrees. You know this point, x1 comma y1. This is 2 comma 3. You know entire line equation. The angle between the two lines is 90 degrees. Immediately you have 1/3. The slopes product is equals to -1. If two lines are perpendicular, their corresponding product slopes is equals to -1. Can I find the slopes or not? What is the slope of line? Immediately you can write -5/2. Minus x coefficient by y coefficient. Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. What is the slope of line? -a/b. This is the slope, m1. Into, what is m2? This is the slope of line joining of 2 comma 3 and x1 comma y1. m1 m2 is equals to -1. This is the thought. -5/2 into, what is the slope of the line joining of these 2 points? y1 minus 3 by x1 minus 2 is equal to -1. Okay, 99% of the problem is over. When you slopes product is equals to -1, you have some condition on x1 comma y1, immediately you can write the locus of x1 y1. That y1 minus 15 is equal to 2x1 minus 4. Implies 2x1 minus 5y1, okay, plus 11 is equal to 0. Am I correct or not? -15 coming to the right side, plus 15 minus 4. That is plus 11. This is the condition for all x1 comma y1. Therefore, locus of x1 y1 is, your locus of x1 comma y1 is what? 2x minus 5y plus 11 is equals to 0. Plus 11 is equal to 0. This is another straight line. 2x minus 5y plus 11 equal to 0. This is always perpendicular to your chord. Okay, you can draw so many circles. Okay, you can draw so many circles as this 2 comma 3 as midpoint of the chord of this circle. So your locus is the line which is perpendicular to 5x plus 2y is equals to 16. That is 2x minus 5y plus 11 equal to 0 is your required locus. Now let us see the another concept. Very, very interesting concept. Important concept also. P is any point on the major arc of circle formed by the chord AB. AB is any chord of circle that makes angle theta on the major arc of the circle. Angle APB is equals to theta and angle ACB is equals to 2 theta. You are going to prove that one. If it is theta, you are going to prove that angle ACB is equals to 2 theta. What is C here? Center of the circle, where C is the center of circle. What is major arc? What is minor arc of circle? How to do this one? let us try to draw the diagram corresponding to this result. This is any circle, okay, it is a chord of circle. This chord divides this circle into two parts. One is major arc, this is minor arc. This is said to be major segment, this is said to be minor segment. This is arc and the entire thing is segment. Am I correct or not? So this is the major segment, minor segment, major arc, minor arc. You take any point on the major arc of the circle. So these are the extremities of the chord AB. Now P is any point on the major arc of the circle as shown in this figure. Now what is the angle here? APB is equals to theta. Angle P is equals to theta is given to you. This is the angle theta. This is your angle theta. They are given to you. What you are going to show that? You are going to show that angle ACB is equals to 2 theta. What is C? Center of the circle. See here, this is the center of the circle shown in this figure. Now join A to C and C to B. We get angle in this manner. What is your aim? You are going to prove that this is 2 theta. You are going to prove that the angle is 2 theta. If it is theta, its must and should be 2 theta. Okay, this is the rough diagram of your property. What is given? What you are going to prove? Take any chord that divides two parts of your circle. One is major arc, other one is minor arc. Take some point on the major arc. Join that point to the extremities of your, you get some angle at that point P, say theta. Immediately you join their extremities of the same chord to the center, you have the angle at that center is 2 theta. You are going to prove that. Okay, that is your target. How to crack this one? See here, what is this? Is it radius or not? Yes, it is radius. Listen carefully. By diagram itself, I am going to prove this one as 2 theta. Okay, this is radius. This is also radius of the circle. Now join C to P. My question is it radius or not? This is also radius of the circle. Now consider this triangle CAP. Consider this triangle. Now my question is it isosceles triangle or not? Yes, this is isosceles triangle because this is R, this is also R. So this triangle is isosceles triangle. So if it is alpha, immediately this is also alpha. Right? Two sides are equal, their corresponding angles must and should be equal by sine rule. So both are alpha, then what is the angle here? The angle is pi minus 2 alpha. The angle is pi minus 2 alpha. This is the angle. In the same manner, these two are equal, same R and R. Immediately you can write alpha. If you take beta, say, if it is beta, here is also beta. You can directly take alpha because this is the two congruent triangles. Even though two, without confusion, I am taking beta. If it is beta, automatically this is also beta because of these two lengths are equal. Now, what is the angle here? The angle is pi minus 2 beta. So what is the sum of angles alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is equals to theta. What you are going to prove this angle? This angle is 2 times of alpha plus beta. Your job is over. Now, what is the sum of two angles? 2 pi minus 2 times of alpha plus beta. Okay. The entire angle is what? 360 degrees. 360 degrees minus this angle gives what? The angle here. Right. So 2 pi minus of 2 pi minus 2 times of alpha plus beta. 2 pi gets cancelled, minus into minus times of alpha plus beta. So your starts with alpha plus beta here, your end with 2 times of alpha plus beta. If angle is alpha plus beta here, this becomes 2 times of alpha plus beta. What is your alpha plus beta? Theta. If it is theta, the angle is 2 theta here. See here, these two are congruent triangles. If it is alpha, immediately this will be alpha. If you take beta, even though you can crack this one. Understand? Some of the students may not be identified that these two are congruent triangles. Even though, if it is beta, we can crack this one. 2 times of alpha plus beta. With the help of this very, very important property, you can conclude that angles in the same segment are equal. Very, very nice concept. Angles in the same segment are always equal. Why? If you fix this angle, I will just explain. This is the property. You see this one? If it is fixed, then if it is theta, automatically you join these extremities to the point on the major arc of the circle, that will be half. Am I correct or not? If it is theta, you take any point here, join these extremities. What happened? The angle here is also theta, because this is 2 theta fixed. Once if your circle is fixed and chord is fixed, your angle must and should be fixed. If it is fixed, therefore all these angles are also fixed. Join like this. This is also theta, because this is theta, automatically 2 theta. Go to reverse verse. If it is 2 theta, that angle should be theta. If you take any point here itself, the angle is also theta. So this is the segment. All the angles in your segment are always equal. So if you take itself, even though join their extremities, this is also theta. So in your lower classes, you know that that is theta, but you don't know how to obtain this is theta. So we cleared here. Let us see the next concept. If the chord, this is the problem related to the previous concept. Just see here. The chord y is equal to mx plus 1 of the circle x square plus y square is equals to 1. Subtend an angle 45 degrees at the major segment of the circle. What is the value of m? So this is the question related to the concept, just what we discussed. This is the question. What is y is equal to mx plus 1? 1 of the chord of circle. What is the role of the chord of the circle here? That makes an angle 45 degrees at the major segment of the circle. You want to find the value of m. For any problem in geometry, you try to draw the rough diagram. Let us draw. This is the circle. X square plus y square is equal to 1. What is the center of the circle? 0, 0. What is the radius of the circle? 1. Now, this is your chord. Y is equals to mx plus 1. This is your chord y is equals to mx plus 1. What is the role of this chord? That makes an angle 45 degrees on the major arc of the circle. This is major arc. This is the chord. The entire thing is said to be segment, major segment. This is your point that makes an angle 45 degrees as shown in this figure. That's all. This is any point P say that makes an angle 45 degrees. What you are going to find out? To find out the value of m. This is the information to you. Now, is it center or not? This is the center of the circle. Now, join that point to the extremities of your chord. Now, I am asking one question to you. If it is 45 degrees, what is the angle? Immediately tell me. Double the angle. What is double of 45? 90 degrees. Yes, that is 90 degrees. Right? This is the picture related to your problem. From the diagram itself, you have to crack the value of m. How to do this one? Now, this is the center of the circle. This is the chord. If you draw the perpendicular from center to the chord, that will be bisect. Every perpendicular bisector should passing through center of the circle. At the same time, this is the angular bisector. Am I correct or not? The entire angle is 90 degrees. Half of the angle is what? Degrees. Half of the angle is 45 degrees. You know the radius of the circle. What is the radius of circle? 1 unit. Now, can you find the distance from here to here or not? You know the line equation. You know the coordinates of center. What are the coordinates of center? 0, 0. Can you find the perpendicular distance or not? Yes, you can easily find the perpendicular distance d, that is equals to modulus of c by root of a square plus b square, perpendicular distance formula. That is modulus of plus 1 by root of a square plus b square, m square plus 1. That is nothing but 1 by root of m square plus 1. So you know the d value. You know this one. This has 1 unit. So can you find cos 45 or not? From that right angle triangle, cos 45 degrees is equals to 1 root 2. That is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. This side is adjacent to this angle. That is why we call it as adjacent side. That is d by 1. D by 1 means what? 1 by root of m square plus 1. Now, equate these two values. What happened? Root of m square plus 1 is equals to root 2. Root of m square plus 1 equal to root 2. Squaring on both sides, immediately we get the value of m. M square plus 1 is equals to 2, implies m square is equals to 2. The value of m is equals to plus or minus, 2 minus 1, that is 1. M is equals to plus or minus 1. M square plus 1 equal to 2. M square is equals to 2 minus 1, that is 1. The value of m is what? Plus or minus 1. In this manner, we can find the slope of the line. What is the logic behind this problem? If it is theta, that will be 2 theta. If you are missing that concept, it is very, very difficult to find the slope of the line. Okay, how to solve this one? It is better, you have to do that. Solve the line with the curve. You are going to find 2 points and take the slope. We are misleading the concept. So once if you know that this is theta, if it is 2 theta, automatically by taking the cos theta, we obtain the value of m. This is the way to solve this problem. The logic behind this problem is, this is theta, this will be 2 theta, and its half angle should be also theta. If it is theta, the half of the angle is theta, because this is the angular bisector. For an isosceles triangle, this is the angular bisector. At the same time, median. At the same time, perpendicular bisector. These 3 lines are coincident. This is the base of your isosceles triangle. These are the 2 sides of your isosceles triangle. This is the point of intersection of the 2 sides. Those are equal. Okay. Now, let us see the another property. Any 2 or more equal chords, 2 or more equal chords of a circle are equal, equidistant from the center. Any 2 or more equal chords of circle are equidistant from the center. That is the statement. What are they saying? Any 2 or more equal chords. Equal chords, we mean the length of the chords are equal. They are always equidistant from the center. Okay. Don't confuse. You take 2 or more chords of circle. Their lengths are equal. What you are going to show that? You are going to show that all those chords are equidistant from the center. Distance means what here? Perpendicular distance. One point and one line is there. Distance, they are talking about a distance. We mean perpendicular distances are equal. Fraction of seconds we can prove this one. Let us see. This is any circle. These are the 2 chords having equal length. Then what you are going to show that these 2 chords are equidistant from the center of the circle. This is the center of the circle. This is one of the perpendicular drawn from center to the line. This is the another perpendicular drawn from center to the another line. What you are going to show that these 2 lengths are equal. This is the corresponding diagram. How to do this one? How to do this one? AB, this is AB, this is CD, are two different chords having same length. AB is equals to CD. This is your given condition. This is center OC. This is M, this is N. What is your aim? Aim OM is equals to AN. Very simple. AB is equal to CD is given to you. Your aim becomes OM is equals to ON. Okay. Now, draw the radii. This is the line joining of A to O, B to O. This is O to C, this is O to D. Dear students, observe the diagram. These two triangles are congruent or not? That is my question. Yes, these two triangles are immediately congruent. R. This is also radius. This is also radius. These two sides are equal. Already given these two sides are also equal. So, these two are equal, these two are equal. Both are equal here. And these two lengths are also equal. By side property, the SSS property, these two triangles are congruent. Congruent we mean their corresponding side lengths are equal. So when these two are congruent, these the perpendicular distances are equal or not? Yes, these two perpendicular distances are always equal. This is your aim. That is proved. So we have OM is equals to ON since by the triangles AOB and COD are congruent triangles. By congruent triangles itself, we get the required result. So if you take any another chord of equal length, that is AB is equals to CD is equals to some XY, this is also equidistant from the center to the line. So all the chords having equal length, they are equidistant from the center of the circle. Equidistant from the center of the circle. Understand? Okay. Let us see some problem related to this one. This is the problem. This is the problem. Read once again yourself. OA comma OB are equal and perpendicular chords of circle x square plus y square minus 2x plus 4y equal to 0. Then the equations of OA and OB are what? Very good question. We use the concept what we discussed in this problem. Listen carefully. Read thoroughly the question once again. What are OA OBs? Two equal and perpendicular chords of circle. Is it O lies on your circle or not? Yes, your circle passing through origin. What is the center of the circle? 1 comma minus 2. Understand? Then we are going to find the equations of OA and OB. Let us try to draw the rough diagram as usually. This is your circle. This is your origin. Okay. Now, draw two perpendicular and equal chords through origin to the circle. These are two equal and perpendicular chords as shown in this figure. What are they? OA and OB. Now, this is AB. This is the line joining of AB that will be diameter to your circle because of angle in semicircle is 90 degrees. Okay. Now, we are going to find the equations of OA and OB. This is what? Center of the circle. If you join center to this origin, what is the role of this line? It makes this angle into two equal parts because this line is angular bisector, perpendicular bisector, median because this is isosceles triangle given that these two lengths are equal. Okay, that is why this is 45 degrees as well as this is also 45 degrees. Am I correct or not? Because the entire angle is 90 degrees by 2, that gives 45 and 45. This is the story related to this question. Okay, from this question you have to find out the equations of OA and OB from diagram itself. How to do this one? What are the coordinates center of the circle now? 1 comma minus 2. 1 comma minus 2. What are the coordinates of origin? 0 comma 0. Can you find the slope of this line or not? M1 say, M1 is equals to minus 2 minus 0 by 1 minus 0, that is minus 2. So your slope is minus 2. Suppose you take its slope as m. So one slope is m and another slope of the line, that is the line joining of O to C, is minus 2. What is the angle between these two lines? 45 degrees. Can you apply tan theta or not? Tan 45 degrees is equals to, for acute angle, modulus of m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. That is m minus of minus plus 2 by 1 m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. That is minus 2 plus minus 2m. From this equation you can calculate the value of m. You know the point on the line. Once if you know the point and slope, you can easily write the equation of the line. What is tan 45? 1 is equals to, for positive, m plus 2 by 1 minus 2m. That is 1 minus 2m is equals to m plus 2. So 3m is equals to minus 1. So value of m is equals to what? Minus 1 by 3. Origin is the point. Can you write the line equation or not? X plus 3y is equals to 0. In the same manner, for minus value, m is equals to 3 we get. When 3 point is origin, the line is y is equals to 3x. So these are the two equations. Y is equal to 3x and x plus 3y equal to 0 are the three equations, are the two equations which are passing through the origin, and they are making angle 90 degrees. These are the chord equations. These two are the equations. One is x plus 3y equal to 0, other one is y is equals to 3x. In this manner, we crack this problem. Understand? Thank you.